Before we begin, I have a few notes to announce about conducting virtual meetings. And I am Diane Woods, the chair, and board member Julie Powell is also on the call as part of the committee, and Vice Chair Lou Young. The meeting must comply with the requirements of the Open Meetings Act. Accordingly, the public may view a meeting via a link provided in the advertised agenda. Please ensure your video is streaming and that you can be seen throughout the duration of the meeting. As there are only 3 members of the committee, you may refrain from muting your microphone when not talking. Please be sure all discussions are broadcast to the public. For any items that require a vote, there will be 2. A roll call vote will be necessary to record the vote of each member. At that time, the member should state her name, pause, and then state, "I vote yes" or "I vote no." Please silence or turn off other electronic devices that may cause disruption to your sound feed. Dr. Jones, would you please call the roll?
Julie Powell.
Julie Powell, present.
Diane Woods.
Diane Woods, present.
And Lou Young.
Lou Young, present. And Madam Chair, my apologies to anyone viewing the video. I'm not able to use my camera this morning, so I will be participating in the discussion, but not participating in the vote. Again, my apologies.
Thank you, member.
And Chair Woods, you have a quorum.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Jones, and thank you for that explanation, Dr. Young. At this time, I will do a review of the criteria for the 25 recipient of the Karam Award for Excellence in Education Policy. David Karam served on the Kentucky Board of Education from 2009 through 2016. He served for 33 years in the Kentucky State Senate and as chair of the Senate Education Committee. During his tenure in the Kentucky General Assembly, Karam championed the passage of the Kentucky Education Reform Act, KERA, and led the efforts for the 4% school tax levy by school districts. The Karam Award for Excellence in Education Policy is given in the spring of each year to state policymakers, education leaders, or citizens who have made notable state-level contributions to the improvement of Kentucky's public education. The criteria that the committee used for the award includes demonstrated leadership in policy development, passage or implementation resulting in increased educational opportunities for students, improved educational, post-secondary, or workforce outcomes for students, and our increased capacity of teachers or school staff to better meet the academic, social, or emotional needs of Kentucky's students. Each committee member was asked to review the nominations prior to this meeting. Therefore, with the committee's agreement, I would like to consider that we follow the process of identifying our 4 top nominees. Remember that the nominees are identified only by application number. So is that agreeable to the committee?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Powell, will you go first, and I'll do a tally sheet. Your top 4.
Okay. So my number 1 was candidate number 11.
Okay.
Number 2 was candidate 2.
Okay.
Number 3 was candidate 4.
Okay.
And number 4 was candidate 9, 10, 12.
Okay. Dr. Young?
Yes, I had a really strong 1 in number 4. And then my number 2 was 9, 10. And my number 3 was 11.
Okay. Did you have a 4th choice?
No, ma'am, but let me look back at the numbers. I didn't write that down. No, the rest are pretty evenly batched.
Okay. Okay. The choices that I had was, first choice was number 4. Second was 11. Third, 9, 10, 12. and the fourth was number 3. So any other discussions about any discussions about the nominees?
Thank you for making that point too, Chair Woods. The 9, 10, 12 is the same candidate. So that's the same for me there. Sorry.
Okay, any thoughts or anything else that stood out in your ranking that you want to? Looks like we've got 2 members of the committee that had number 4 as the top choice. And number 11 was second on one, third on the other one. And nominee number 11 first on one choice of the committee, and number 2, 4, and 9, 10, 12 was.
So Chair Woods, I would just offer a bit of an argument in favor of 4 because of the kind of one-time opportunity, given that this person has recently retired, for an opportunity to make that selection, and very much in keeping with the spirit of the Karam Award. There was a big delineation for me between first place and second and third.
I would agree. I made my notes here for candidate number 4, having worked very diligently. And as you said, a retiree, worked with school districts and the General Assembly. It seems like that this candidate, in my opinion, was able to work on both sides of the aisle for our Kentucky public school students, and to support that, as well as the next one was also.
And I think point well taken on your part, in that of all the applicants, this one had the most direct involvement and engagement with members of the General Assembly.
Yes, and as well as the department. It just was a strong one for me. Then I went on to candidate number 11. The candidates in this pool were outstanding, all of them.
Exactly.
They were.
Yes.
They were.
I was sharing before the meeting, I just kept thinking, God, this is really difficult, this one. Their commitment to public schools and to education and support, making sure that we have all kids are being served was outstanding. Outstanding. I'm glad that's one of the awards that the board gives, because I think it's very key.
Yeah.
And also the stepping up to help lead great policy, bring constituents together. I mean, some of these nominations were outstanding individuals in their communities.
And every time I read about community and parent involvement, I thought about you, Julie. Oh, man, she's going to put her
Absolutely
approval on this applicant. So what's the will of the committee? At this time, we have to decide who our top nominee is going to be. And then based on this nominee's extraordinary efforts and contributions to the area of educational policy, we will have a motion, and that name will be brought to the full board on March the 26th for their consideration and a vote at the board meeting. I got Dr. Young,
if I may, I just occasionally we just add a quantitative look at this by giving 3 points to those that were chosen in the first place spot, 2 points to those in a second place spot, and 1 point to those in a third place spot. Doing that math really quickly, we would yield candidate number 4 with the highest quantitative score. Just one other piece of information. We don't make the decision that way, of course.
Yeah. And I noticed, is that the bonus points you were talking about?
No, just as we, in the past, sometimes on the committee, if we don't have a real clear consensus about a winner, we take a look at how the scores fall out in place, first place, second place, third place votes.
Okay. All righty. Any other discussion?
I mean, but my top 3 were all very, very close. They're all very worthy candidates.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, based upon of our discussion. Any other discussion before we begin? The final.
And I guess I'm the one who needs to make a motion because of the quorum.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so I believe we're coming to a consensus on candidate number 4.
If you feel good about that, Julie, that would
Yeah.
be.
Yes, I'm fine with that.
Okay, are you sure? Because we can talk about this a little more.
Sure.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
So I will make a motion for candidate number 4 to be presented to the board for acceptance for the 2025 Kareem Award for Excellence in Education Policy.
It's been properly motioned. Motion has been made to recommend candidate, or I got stuck between candidate nominee, candidate number 4 to the full board on March 26th as a recipient of the 2025 Kareem Award for Excellence in Education Policy. Second,
And that would need to come from you, Chair Woods.
Yeah,
Diane. Second, Diane Woods. Dr. Jones, will you call the roll, please?
Julie Pyle,
Julie Pyle, yes.
Diane Woods,
Diane Woods, yes.
and Lou Young.
I will recuse myself from the vote because I don't have camera access.
The motion passes.
Okay, it's been properly moved, seconded, and passed that the awards committee makes the nomination for candidate 4 as a recipient of the 2025 Kareem Award for Excellence in Education Policy. At this time, is there any further business for the awards committee at this point? Okay. At this time, I need a motion to adjourn the meeting, a second, and a roll call vote.
Julie Pyle, I motion to adjourn the awards committee meeting for March 20th.
Diane Woods, second.
And the roll call, Julie Pyle,
Julie Pyle, yes.
Diane Woods,
Yes.
and Lou Young.
Not voting.
The motion passes. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.